So Arch Manning is not having the worst season ever for a first-year starter. The problem is he's not having a good one. The bigger problem is he was expected to have a great season, a season that would put him as the number one overall NFL draft pick, which maybe we're getting ahead of ourselves, but I actually don't think we were. You turn on the tape, you look at his recruiting history, you look at everything Sark was saying leading up to this season and just the overall sentiment about everything that he could be. I still think he can get there someday. You can clip that. I still think he can get there. It hasn't happened right now in 2025. He has flashes of brilliance, flashes of great throws, but it's not there consistently. Expectations heading into the season, the expectations was that he would have one that looked like Dwayne Haskins, who was, the reason I say him is he was another guy who waited until his redshirt sophomore year to get his first start, which is rare for big-time recruits at big-time schools. And as we're pulling that up, we were thinking, hey, Arch has the ability to have Dwayne Haskins 2018 type of passing numbers, which you're seeing there on YouTube in terms of that spider chart. It's the exact same chart that we saw for Carson Beck, but you're seeing that left-hand side for Dwayne Haskins, lights out from a passing side of things. The exciting part was that you pair Dwayne Haskins' passing ability with a Jalen Milroe mobility, not maybe to that level, but where the mobility is very much a part of your game. Blend those two together, and we were thinking that you'd get lights out on both sides of this chart. Lights out for Arch Manning altogether in 2025. And you're seeing Arch Manning stats 2025, not good. Not a lot of color in those stats. And I know it's fine print, but you're looking at some of these metrics are, overall success rate is the top thread in this web. On the left-hand side, you're talking explosive play rate. You're talking early down success rate, late down success rate, just on a play-in, play-out basis success rate, your pass success rate. Dwayne Haskins, no surprise. Tanner, go over to the left real quick. His rushing success rate, not good at all. Actually, awful. That's this middle bottom, or that's that bottom right metric right here. His sack rate, really good. Dwayne Haskins, not giving up or not taking sacks, getting the ball out of his hands. You go over to Jalen Milroe. What's the category that looks way different? It's this lower right one. His rush rate is phenomenal. Some of the passing rates, not as good. You go over to Arch in 2025. Arch's best category is that rush success rate. And that's what I think that's what has me still optimistic, is because you see the arm strength at times. You see him at times fit the ball into tight windows and throw with anticipation. And then you also see the rushing success rate, which statistically shows up. That's what we're seeing from this spider chart. It just, you haven't been able to pair both of them together whatsoever. You also look, as we scroll down to and zoom out to the other spider chart that's of note. There's another redshirt sophomore, or redshirt freshman, excuse me, who's playing at a really high level, CJ Carr, not getting as much headlines. Again, compare both those guys. One guy's playing really well, another guy's not playing well. Interesting comparison there. CJ Carr has sat for 1 year less compared to Arch Manning. And then the other really interesting comparison, again, on these advanced analytic metrics, go down to the guy that Arch has taken over for, Quinn Ewers. This will give Texas Longhorns fans hope for the future. Quinn Ewers, 2022, his first year starting, not very good. Those charts look awfully comparable. Quinn Ewers, 2022, compared to Arch Manning 2025. But when we scroll down one more time, the jump that Quinn Ewers made from his first year starting to his second year starting, 2022 to 2023, is great. There is still hope. Obviously, Longhorn fans want that to happen this year, but it did take Quinn Ewers some time to get rolling. I forgot about that, or I guess I lost track of that. I was thinking that, Quinn Ewers, given where he was recruited, it was a ready-made thing. Wasn't necessarily the case. We've seen this before. Quinn's made that jump. I do think Arch can get there. And the way and what he needs to fix in order to get there is what we're about to break down. All right, the one factor in this game that stuck out. There's a lot going on. We've talked about Arch's throwing motion. We've talked about is he getting through his reads? Why is he being inaccurate? It's his footwork. There's all sorts of metrics that are all sorts of factors that go into quarterback play. The one factor that stuck out to me about Arch Manning in this game: poor feel in the pocket, poor pocket awareness, poor maneuvering of the pocket. Nothing to do with athleticism, nothing to do with arm strength, nothing to do with your recruiting profile. It's what Tom Brady made a living on, where it's just one step over, one step up. Nothing groundbreaking per se, but I don't feel like Arch had a great feel for what was going on in the pocket. And here's what I mean. First play right here. This is the tight end wheel route, right? Yeah. All right. If I get a back view here. This is the one that's batted ball. It looks like Florida's getting pressure on him. But here's what's going on. All right. It's tight end right here. It's got a little flood route. Sark used to love this concept. For USC fans watching this, Sark may have fell in love with this concept in 2014 with Bryce Dixon, former tight end at USC, absolute weapon. But this is very much we are calling this play to dial up our tight end. The reason I say that is, as a quarterback and Arch, you got to feel that when the defense is bringing pressure, hell yeah, bring pressure, rush me, because I know I got two receivers to the top of the screen that are going to run off both of these defenders, and there is going to be no one for this tight end in this vacated zone or this vacated grass right here. The wiring for you as a quarterback should be, I just got to hang in there. I just got to buy as much time as I can, because that tight end's ultimately going to come open. But instead, Arch doesn't really take a full drop and starts creeping up in the pocket. He hitches up kind of aggressively and allows this Florida defender to get involved. If he doesn't do that, this tight end is wide ass open. Wide open. There is no one there. This is a huge game. There is absolutely no one there. And so it's easy to say, oh, Texas offensive line, you got to be better. Sure, they got to be better a little bit. But as we go to the back view, I want my quarterback to have a better feel for this pocket. Yes, you're getting pressure to the left. Perfect. Don't hitch up so aggressively into the pocket. Hang back here a little bit. Hang back here a little bit. Because your football awareness, the thing that made you a five-star recruit, is you can feel this tight end coming open. Man, hang back there. Even if you're, chopping back a little bit. Russell Wilson used to do a phenomenal job of that. I don't need a ton of time. Whatever it takes to just buy a half second. Instead, he creeps up into the pocket, gets pressure, arm angled. This is me, that's being nitpicky for a college quarterback, but that's holding. If you're going to be a high-level SEC quarterback, that is the criticism. That is what his coach is telling him in the quarterback meeting room, which is why I'm telling you guys here. All right, second one. What do we got here? Oh, similar deal. Similar deal. So, yep, okay. Similar mindset in terms of Sark is, we'll get to the next play. One sec. Similar mindset in that, as a quarterback, Sark is dialing up a home run shot. I've been in those meeting rooms. I never started a game for Sark, but I guess I had 3 live meaningful reps under Sark when Cody Kessler got the wind knocked out of him at Utah. But my point is, Sark is dialing up a home run shot. They have walked through this 12 times throughout the week. This is their home run shot. And you're going to get it's like a corner go. The reason I say that is, quarterback-wise, again, your mindset is whatever I can do to buy just enough time so I can get this ball out. You also know if the defense is bringing pressure, that means on the back end, they got one-on-one coverage. Meaning if they're bringing pressure, if I can just buy a little bit of time, I got touchdowns waiting for me. The mindset for a quarterback is, I might have to take a hit, but I got a home run shot down the field. And this is aggressive. They're bringing pressure. Arch does a good job of stepping up. But I think the mindset as a quarterback should be, let me just step up and step over. It doesn't have to be a full hitch job. Let me panic and get flushed out of the pocket, because he knows it's one-on-one on the outside. Let me just buy a half second so I can get this ball up. It doesn't have to be a let me panic and escape the pocket, which is what happens, or he escapes, then he's late, now he's getting hit, and we'll see it from the back end, and he misses the open shot downfield, which was documented on the broadcast. I saw this one sitting from seat 16C in the air, Pittsburgh to Salt Lake last night. Missed opportunity. All right. The coaching point in the meeting room, you can see Arch managing the pressure. He knows he's getting blitz from this side. That's good football awareness. He's protecting himself. All right, running back 5 is going to come over and block this up. Boom. He's got a home run shot to his right-hand side. Right here, just step over, step up. Tom Brady special. Every quarterback does it. Step over, step up. Trust your running back. Instead, he goes, let me take off mode and flush out of the pocket. This is where I'm wary that I'm being pretty critical, because you want your quarterback to trust your instincts. But I think this is part of the problem, is hang in there as a passer, because by him flushing out, now you're allowing this other defender to get involved. And then he's like, oh crap, I'm not going to be able to break the pocket. So then he hitches up. Now he gets hit. He's late. Receiver's wide open. You miss it. You get hit. It looks like poor protection. I think it's poor pocket maneuvering. Third one right here. I'll try to rip through this one quicker. Third one. This is indecision about whether or not I'm going to be a runner or I'm going to stay a passer. It's good pressure by Florida. You can tell Arch's eyes go down, but the point I want to drive home is right there, he comes back up for a second play. He's going to have this receiver open on a dig route, and he's going to have this DB fall down, and this receiver's wide open for a touchdown. The reason I say that, and it's going to be clear, see that defender? He just fell down right there. The reason I say that is because when we go to the back view, this ends up being like a 2-yard gain or whatever. When we go to the back view, this is good rush by Florida. Right here, this is a crapshoot. You can tell Arch's eyes go down to see the rush, which I don't blame him. That's really hard. There's a lot of stuff going on. But right here, if you've decided my eyes are going down and I'm a runner, then go be a runner. Go be a runner right now, Arch. I wish I had your legs. Go be a runner right now. But you can't be in between both. And that's where he gets caught, because he's in between both, where now he comes back up to be a passer after his eyes have gone down. Well, now if you're back up to be a passer, remember those 2 guys that I said were wide open? Well, then my question is, why'd you not throw it to him? If you're back up being a passer right now, go be a passer. Hit that dig route to the right-hand side, or hit that home run shot to the left-hand side. But instead, he's not a runner. He's not really a true passer. And he allows 15 and these defenders from behind to get him from the back. To me, that's, again, poor pocket maneuvering, because he's indecisive of ultimately what he wants to do with the football. This is a good example. This is when he is decisive. Play action, not there. He's running. This is what gets you so excited and has me remaining excited about Arch. Last example, I won't, for time, I'll rip through that. Play action fake. He's hitching, and ultimately hitches his way into a sack. This is fine protection. Hang back there in the pocket. Play action fake. Hang back there. You're protected. Instead, he hitches his way to a sack. It's hitch, or take off and run. Can't do that. Arch Manning was 16 for 29, 263 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, some costly picks, 6 sacks. Florida's defensive line did a really good job. And, again, if you wanted to just be an average quarterback, this would be really critical. Arch is not an average quarterback. That's not the expectations. That's not the expectations for a Texas quarterback. That's why I go to that level, because that right there is the feedback that he's getting in his quarterback meeting rooms this week, which is hopefully of value to you guys. I still remain optimistic about Arch, though. You see flashes of the complete package throughout the course of this game. Flashes. One play here, one play there. The pop of athleticism, the pop of arm strength, the pop of anticipation. It hasn't come together for him yet, and it needs to quickly if Texas is going to get this season back on track.